Is chivalry really dead? Today we're diving into gentleness through the lens of chivalry and why both husbands and wives need to hear this message.
Welcome to Bringing Hope Home. We're Bryce and Colette Schaffer, and we're on a mission to bring God's hope, healing, and practical strategies right into your living room.
Hey, welcome to Bringing Hope Home. We are Bryce and Colette, and today we're talking about chivalry in gentleness. So gentleness in the form of chivalry, I should say.
Yeah, that's a good one, because Bringing Hope Home here is about bringing what we learn and apply from the Bible and from your church services, or hopefully you're listening to ours, at least a little bit on a podcast of some sort, and then bringing it and applying it in your home. And chivalry is certainly one that we could all use a refresher course on.
I think so.
I think it's a good one. And it's all about just stepping through the door first, so to speak, and modeling behaviors. Isn't that what God did when Adam and Eve sinned? Right there in chapter 3 of Genesis, God says, I'm going to put enmity between you and, the Satan, the sin, and you. I'm going to do something about it. I mean, that to me is pretty cool. God stepped up first. Didn't do the blame game. Didn't do the I'm tired. I can't believe this is happening again. Or, or for the first time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you think, God, talk about the most chivalrous person. God is it. And chivalry is showing love. It's showing gentleness. It's showing just
really
a heart for others.
Preferring
others. That's a good one.
Preferring others. The commandment was to love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and love others as ourselves.
Amen.
Love your neighbor. And so what does that look like? Well, it looks like serving each other. And especially when we're talking about, gentleness in family and marriage, that can come in the form of chivalry. And so it amazes me how sometimes being I have a hard time saying the word chivalrous is dead in a lot of marriages and families, where it's kind of every man for himself. And
yeah, that's not the way to live a family.
Right.
For sure. And it's not like you have in the notes, it's not about just opening and closing doors. It's about being present in that moment and preferring the other.
Well, you mentioned opening and closing doors. That's kind of what we think of when someone is chivalrous. Opening the door for you.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
That's the easy one. But really underlying that, what is the root of that? It's showing respect. It's doing what Ephesians 5.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Right. Yeah, the Ephesians 5, it says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Again, Jesus came gently and said, I know there's a disconnect. I know there's a problem, or I know there needs help. I'm going to be the first one to step up and do it. I'm going to open that door because I respect you. I love you. I want to care for you. And he said, I'm going to be the first one.
So it is the man's job.
It is, right. And I was just going to say that. It is the man's job, and there's lots of perks to being the man of the house. But this is one that is a huge perk, but it's a huge step up in responsibility for all of us men. And it doesn't stop the day that you say I do. There's too many of us, I see it out there, where I'm chivalrous until the marriage is complete. And then she just becomes my beck and call girl. That's should never be. If you're getting married for those reasons, don't get married. You want to take care of her and swoon her and be chivalrous every day, 24/7, 365, because she's the one that God brought you. And again, it's not there to dominate the other. It's just showing compassion, love, the gentleness, the gentle spirit. I want to take care of you
Mm-hmm.
in any form or fashion that needs to be taken care of today. I'm going to step up and be first and do that. And that's the man's job, to do it for the woman and for your children.
Mm-hmm.
I just talked to a dad the other day, and he had been sober. The child had reminded him that they had been sober for 4 years. And so we got into this beautiful conversation, and it just almost got me choked up. And I said, well, what set you on this new course that you've now been sober 4 years? He says, I needed to be there for my children and allow my children to see me in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that you wouldn't think that's chivalry at all, but that was very chivalrous. And that little boy who had reminded him, and he was beaming there because he was standing there as well. And it was like, yeah, that's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad did that for me. It still gives me goosebumps because it was a pretty neat thought there that I got to experience and peek in on in their relationship. So again, it's not to dominate, it's to lead the way. And there's too many of us men not leading the way. We're leading in the wrong ways, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And wives, by the way, you can be chivalrous too,
Yeah.
right?
It's mutual, showing honor, showing respect. We're designed to be the helpmate. And
Right.
that
Amen.
means that, all of us would vouch that a man needs a woman.
Yes,
And
we
a
do.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but we need each other, and we need what each of us bring
Yeah.
to the table. But yeah, it goes both ways in just to honor and respect each
Mhm.
other and help each
Yeah,
other.
help each other out and cover up our mistakes. How many times do our wives cover up our mistakes in our parenting, in our jobs, in whatever the conversations? We put our foot in our mouths. Oh my goodness, without my wife, you know, you'd think I'm quite a roughneck
No.
for sure. So
Mhm.
no, but it definitely goes both ways in being chivalrous. Again, it's protecting one another and gentle, not to throw each other under the bus.
It's really just looking out for the best interest of somebody else. I was reminded lately, I took a trip, and we live in the
Yeah.
Midwest in South
Not in
Dakota.
Kansas anymore, are we, Toto?
And so we took a trip, and I was struggling. I was with my grandson, and I was struggling with a stroller trying to get in and out of someplace. And this guy just walks by, looks at me, and keeps walking. And I was like, whoa, what just happened? Because in South Dakota, that would never,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it is. If it was a kid,
Yeah, 10-year-old
elementary,
boy.
10-year old, you see someone struggling, they're going to help. And
Yeah,
maybe
amen.
that's
That's right.
just the way where we are. So it kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. It's like, he didn't even look at me. Like, I'm struggling here and didn't even offer.
That's your struggle, not mine. Thank goodness.
Yeah. But, we're all called to help each other and to serve each other. And that is what being gentleness is, serving each other. And so in that form of chivalry, how can you make life better for somebody?
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
You know,
I think that's so important. So again, it goes beyond the man, goes beyond the woman, goes to our lifestyle.
mm-hmm.
It really does. And in parenting, like I said, watching our parents, we both grew up with great parents. We were very fortunate, and I would even say blessed, to have the sets of parents that we had to model the chivalry and the love and helpmates that they were for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, again, we've brought that parenting style to our own kids and our own situations, and now grandparenting.
Mm-hmm.
We've said, we got it told to us, and we've now said it to all three of our kids, just pay it forward. We're doing this for you because we're the parents and we love you and we want to help you, and we don't need to be paid back. There's none of that. Just pay it forward. Bless your kids when they need it in the same way, you know. Um, you have down on here too, teaching your boys how to be gentle protectors, raising future husbands. I think that's
Yeah.
important. Talk about that a little bit.
And again, today's culture really downplays the man's role.
Hmm.
And, that the man is nothing and it's all woman.
And
And,
he's just stupid.
yeah, no, we need to, as women, we need to be building up our boys to be men, and building up the men in our lives, um, letting them respecting that position that they have. And so if you have boys, raising them up to be that protector, to be that showing chivalry to you and others. I trained our boys really young.
Yes,
I
you
would
did.
stand outside a door and just stand there. Like, what are you doing, Mom? And then
Waiting.
they get the hint to open the door. Now they're very chivalrous, and I watch them with their own wives,
Yes. And it
and they take
warms
care of.
your heart.
It warms my heart because they do take care of their wives. They're always looking, how can I make their life better? And I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's awesome
Hmm.
to
And
be
by
able
the
to
way, us men need to help train our little girls, our
girls,
baby
yeah,
girls, what chivalry looks like
and
and
to
what it
accept
and
it.
to accept. Yes.
There's so many girls that are, oh, I don't need that. I can open my own door. I can do this. It's
Hmm.
not about that. It's not about your ability. Yes, you're strong. You are capable,
Right.
right? It's not about that. It's about letting others show you the respect that you are
Yeah. And you are
deserve, that you
a
deserve.
jewel and one of the most precious things on earth. Your
Mm-hmm.
daughters are. And so you treat them and train them to recognize that in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They need to see the value and worth that you bring to them. So then when they see opposite of that being treated on their own, say that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't be with that kind of a person or relationship or business, whatever it is, that doesn't value me
Mm-hmm.
as that. So
I remember my grandpa telling me, now, Colette, if you go on a date and he doesn't open your door, you turn around and you walk the other way.
yep, go back inside your house.
Go back inside the house. And I
Oh,
remember
phew,
looking
I'm
at him
glad
like,
I.
why? And it was that, well, he doesn't respect you enough. If he's not going to show you
Hmm.
chivalry, it's not that you can't do it yourself, not that you're not strong, not that you're not capable, but if he can't show you that respect, then
And what it's doing is showing your heart
yeah,
in action.
yeah, through gentleness. I mean, that really shows your heart.
Hmm. And so you want to train your daughter to
Mm-hmm.
recognize it and realize when it's being given to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, they're just going to expect the other, which is being walked on and walked over. And we don't want that for our daughters, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So, yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, and you know, definitely, this is not outdated. This is
Mm-hmm.
chivalry is not dead. It needs to be maybe revived in some of our households. Just the other day, we were with some other pastor friends, and I'm going to tell on myself, I do open the door for
Yes,
you,
you
and I
do.
do a pretty
You're
darn
very
good job.
chivalrous.
But this pastor couple we were with this a couple weeks ago, he was very prompt and very to do it all the time.
Yeah.
And you said something to me like, wouldn't mind a little bit more. Not that you aren't. And so, it's just, it doesn't go out of style, and there's always a place for it, is
Mm-hmm.
what you were trying to hint at. And I like to joke around about it. So then I joked with you and everything. But it is certainly there. It's not outdated. It's not dead. You're not a doormat. And don't think, again, I love what you said when it was, you are capable of doing it yourself, but I value enough for me to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. It makes you feel good inside,
Yeah,
for sure. So, yeah.
that's right.
So be there for each other. And in a family, that's what we're supposed to do. Not to tear each other down, but to build each other up, to help each other out.
So there you go. There's your assignment. If you're a man,
Mm.
this week, look for ways that you can be chivalrous to your wife, to your daughter, and if you're a wife, communicate to your husband. Sometimes he doesn't know.
Right, like me. I get.
They have a one-track mind, and so
Yeah.
it's okay to communicate. Hey, it'd be nice if you open the door. Or you laughed at me one time. You're like, I like how you nonchalantly just wait outside a door for me to open it if I get to a door first.
Yeah. We were talking about that at a restaurant a month or two ago.
Yeah,
it was funny.
So, but anyway, yeah, chivalry is not dead. So it's something that has to be practiced if it doesn't feel natural. We talk to a lot of couples and marriages, and for a lot of people, it doesn't cross their mind. Why would I do that? But again, it's biblical, of taking care of each other and serving each other, and it's a way of loving each other, showing love and respect. So all of the things that we're supposed to be showing to each other.
Right.
It's a great way. So
right. So remember, and again, it's about who God is in your life as well, and you just pouring that out on others. And you don't, just get filled up by Him first, and then this little stuff will come a lot easier. So anyway, thanks for joining us once again at Bringing Hope Home, and remember to like, subscribe, share all these things, because they're so valuable to more than just you. It's to your neighbors as well. And so thank you for joining us, and thank you for liking and subscribing. And remember to always bring hope home to your life today.
If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. See you next week.